The House will come to order. The invocation today will be given by Nicole Lee from Community Christian Reformed Church in Saginaw Township, guests of Representative Kelly. Will members, staff, and guests in the gallery please rise?
Almighty God, by whose great power and outstretched arm the earth was made, from one man you made all the nations, that they should inhabit the whole earth. And because you mark out each person's appointed time in history, I thank you for each person you have placed here to serve the people of Michigan. I ask that you will direct their hearts to Jesus, the only one given to mankind through whom we must be saved. Enable them to know how deeply they are loved by the God who knew them before they were born. Grant them saving faith, enabling them to become part of the amazing story you have been writing since before time began. As I pray for them today, I ask you to raise up others who will bring their needs to your throne in the days to come, that they might receive grace to help in their time of need. Bless them with thriving relationships with their families and strong connections with their communities. And in these days of inflamed passions and overblown rhetoric, protect them from harm. I also ask you to align their understanding of government with your word. Give them hearts that seek wisdom, ears able to hear your voice, and illumined minds able to understand your precepts. Refresh those working hard to form righteous government in Michigan. Give them courage and the joy that comes from loving righteousness and hating wickedness. Holy Spirit, bring the fear of God upon those making decisions, for you have set a day when you will judge our actions and our words. Lead them to make only noble plans, that by noble deeds they will stand. Lord, what I pray for this chamber, I pray also for our state. Bring an end to the moral and cultural civil war that has embittered and prevented us from seeking your purposes for Michigan. Send revival so we can turn to you wholeheartedly and enable you to truly bless Michigan. Make this pleasant peninsula a place where when people look around, they see you. In the name of Christ Jesus the Lord, I pray. Amen.
Thank you. The clerk will open the board for the purpose of taking attendance. The board is now open. Members may check in at their desk. The Midwesterner out of Muskegon has permission to record today's session. Have all the members checked in? Members, the board will be closing momentarily. Please check in at your desk. For the purposes of an introduction, speaker recognizes Representative Alexander.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have a special honor today of announcing a special guest in the West Gallery today. Justin Huffman is up there, my LD staff, with his son, Boston Cottingham. He's shadowing his father today.
Will the special guest of Representative Alexander please rise and welcome to the Michigan House of Representatives. Have all the members checked in? Speaker recognizes Minority Floor Leader Fitzgerald.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to excuse Representatives B. Carter, Grant, Weiss, and Whitsett.
Without objection, so ordered. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Posthumus.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to excuse Representatives DeSena, Hall, and Kuhn.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will close the board, tally, display, and announce today's attendance.
Madam Speaker, a quorum of the House is present. There are no members absent with prior excuse.
Will members, staff, and guests in the gallery please rise and join me now in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Meerman.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that the House proceed to the order of third reading of bills and take up calendar item number 3, House Bill 4047.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
Calendar item number 3, House Bill 4047, introduced by Representative Bierlein, a bill to impose civil liability and prescribe criminal penalties for the non-consensual creation or dissemination of deep fake sexual images. People's State of Michigan, enact.
The bill will be considered read for a third time by its title. Are there amendments? There are. The clerk will read.
Representative Carr offers a series of 4 amendments identified as Amendment number 1.
On third reading, amendments require support. Is there support? There is support. The question before the House is the adoption of the amendments. Speaker recognizes Representative Kara.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise today in support of my amendment, which would amend Section 5, subsection 1, and Section 8, subsection 4 of House Bill 4047. It's important to make sure that we protect a defendant's right through consent, not just written, but they also deserve verbal consent as a defense through the process. Unfortunately, if this is not amended, this bill as it's currently written will not provide that opportunity for a defendant. They will instead have to try to argue different arguments to try to defend themselves in a legitimate case where consent was given for the creation of the deepfake. We do not come to Lansing to vote on concepts alone, but also based on the content within the concepts that are before us. It is important that we read the bills carefully and ensure that they are written well, and not just simply saying that we support it based on the concept and not looking at what it says. I urge an adoption of my amendment to strike Section 5, subsection 1, as well as Section 8, subsection 4, and amend it as presented. Thank you, Madam Chair.
The question before the House is on the adoption of the amendment. The clerk will open the board. The amendment is not adopted. Are there further amendments? There being no further amendments, the question before the House is the passage of the bill. A record roll call vote is, excuse me, so sorry guys. Speaker recognizes Representative Sternaglu.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Permission to speak to the entire package.
So ordered.
Thank you. Last term, myself and my colleague from the 97th District addressed this chamber several times advocating for the passage of bill packages that sought to rein in some of the more concerning features of artificial intelligence. Today, I am once again able to stand here and say that since I last addressed this chamber, artificial intelligence has only grown more and more powerful, and its impact on our society has only become more and more prevalent. And artificial intelligence is nothing short of amazing. It offers incredible versatility and benefits across numerous fields, automating tasks, enhancing decision-making, and improving efficiency. It can analyze data quickly and accurately, identifying patterns, and generate insights that might be missed by humans, leading to better outcomes. AI's ability to learn and adapt, combined with its capacity to automate repetitive tasks, makes it a powerful tool for solving complex problems and improving human workflows. You can even use it to write a political speech, although I haven't done that today. So no matter what we may personally think of artificial intelligence technologies, they are here and they're here to stay. As the percentage of the population that uses artificial intelligence technology, either knowingly or unknowingly, continues to grow exponentially, we must stay hypervigilant in our efforts to regulate the technology and to ensure that our most vulnerable community members are not exploited or harmed. This bill package specifically seeks to address one of the most dangerous and invasive uses of AI, non-consensual explicit deepfakes. As I am sure some of you may remember, just over a year ago, the world was once again reminded of the potential dangers of unregulated AI when deepfake explicit images of Taylor Swift took center stage. Outrage from fans and everyday people pushed the issue forward. But unfortunately, non-consensual explicit deepfake images and videos have been around for years. Back in 2019, a study was conducted on the number of deepfake videos circulating the internet, and the findings were terrifying. Even back in 2019, before recent increases in the capabilities of AI technologies, there were thousands of deepfake videos across the internet. Worse yet, some studies found that over 95% of all the deepfake videos found on the internet were pornographic and non-consensual depictions of women and girls. Since 2019, this issue has gotten exponentially worse, and it will continue to get worse unless action is taken by this chamber. Victims of these non-consensual deepfakes have experienced mental distress, financial harms, and even suicide as a direct result. This bill package was specifically designed in response to the horrors that victims of these false depictions have suffered. Together, these bills prohibit the creation and distribution of AI-generated explicit images without consent. The bills also create penalties for those who seek to abuse the capabilities of AI technologies while protecting countless individuals from harm. I want to thank the representative from District 97 and the many individuals who helped bring this important issue forward. While a handful of other states have passed similar legislation, with these bills, Michigan will continue to lead the nation on addressing and regulating the potential misuses of artificial intelligence. I urge my colleagues to vote yes on the entire package. Thank you.
Speaker recognizes Representative Bierlein.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Permission to speak to both bills.
So ordered.
Today, I rise in strong support of House Bills 4047 and 4048, otherwise known as the Protection from Intimate Deepfakes Act. This legislation is about protecting the dignity, safety, and privacy of our constituents in an age when the technology is evolving faster than the law. I want to thank my colleague from the 75th District and her office for partnering with me on this legislation once again. Her commitment to protecting the people from this type of exploitation has been unwavering, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to work together on an issue that demands serious attention. We've all seen how artificial intelligence and digital editing tools are becoming more powerful and more accessible. Unfortunately, bad actors are using these tools to create incredibly realistic fake images and videos, often involving explicit content without the consent or knowledge of the people depicted. These are not harmless pranks. They are deeply invasive violations that can destroy reputations, careers, and mental health. And I want to be clear. This is not some far-off problem that only affects celebrities or public figures, as we've come to see on social media and in the news. I've heard of incidents involving deepfake images right in my own district, right in the school down the road from where my kids go. And I'm sure many of you have heard similar stories in your own communities. This is happening to real people, our neighbors, our constituents, our kids. These bills make it clear if you intentionally create or share a deepfake sexual image with the intent to harass, extort, or cause harm, you will be held accountable. This sends a clear message. In Michigan, we will not tolerate the exploitation of someone's identity for clicks, profit, or revenge. Let's stand up for privacy, for decency, for justice. I urge a yes vote on House Bills 4047 and 4048. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The question before the House is the passage of the bill. A record roll call vote is required. All those in favor will vote aye. Those opposed, nay. The clerk will open the board. Channel 9 and 10, WWTV out of Cadillac, has permission to record today's session. The clerk will close the board, tally, display, and announce the vote.
Madam Speaker, on the question of final passage of House Bill 4047, there are 104 aye votes and 1 nay vote.
A majority of the members elected and serving having voted in favor, therefore, the bill has passed. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Meerman.
I move for immediate effect.
The Majority Floor Leader moves for immediate effect. All those in favor will rise. Immediate effect is ordered. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Meerman.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Continuing on the order of third reading of bills, I move that the House take up calendar item number 4, House Bill 4048.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
Calendar item number 4, House Bill 4048, introduced by Representative Cernoglu, a bill to amend the Code of Criminal Procedure, People of the State of Michigan, enact.
The bill will be considered read for a third time by its title. Are there amendments? There are no amendments. The question before the House is the passage of the bill. A record roll call vote is required. All those in favor will vote aye. Those opposed, nay. The clerk will open the board. The clerk will close the board, tally, display, and announce the vote.
Madam Speaker, on the question of final passage of House Bill 4048, there are 104 aye votes and 1 nay vote.
A majority of the members elected and serving having voted in favor, therefore, the bill has passed. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Meerman.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for immediate effect.
The Majority Floor Leader moves for immediate effect. All those in favor will rise. Immediate effect is ordered. For the purpose of a special introduction, the Speaker recognizes Representative Paquette.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The color red in the American flag symbolizes valor, and with it, the unfortunate but inevitable blood that has been shed for the American cause. Today on the floor with me, from Berrien Springs, Michigan, we have a man whose service in Vietnam is a prime example of such valor. On the early morning of March 21st, 1967, 2 infantry battalions were tasked with setting up a fire support base to be used in search and destroy missions when they found themselves surrounded by a massive force of North Vietnamese. It happened to be the enemy's well-equipped and organized 272nd Regiment, which was one of the few known to attack during broad daylight. The mechanized infantry mechanic among us this afternoon used only one tool that day, his M16. He helped fend off this ambush to cement the largest single-day infliction of casualties to the enemy in the entire Vietnam War. 38 of Vern's fellow soldiers fell in the fierce firefight that took place that morning, while 648 of the enemy were identified as killed. Madam Speaker, this hero is in our presence this afternoon on the House floor with us today.
Colleagues, please join me in welcoming Representative Paquette's special guests. Please rise. Speaker recognizes Representative Paquette.
Now, we have a tribute to present to Vern on top of his many accolades for heroism, one of which is the Presidential Unit Citation, which he received issued from President Lyndon Baines Johnson. To also witness this moment, lest we forget, are also 25 of Vern's guests, his family, and some of his few brothers in arms who also served in distinguished capacities. They are in the South Gallery today.
Will the special guest of Representative Paquette please rise? And thank you for welcome to the Michigan House of Representatives. For the purpose of an introduction, the Speaker recognizes Representative Regas.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Today I have the privilege of welcoming 26 students and 8 adults from my community of Caledonia and Dutton Christian School.
Will the special guest of Representative Regas please rise and welcome to the Michigan House of Representatives. For the purpose of an introduction, the Speaker recognizes Representative McKinney.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just want to introduce in the East Gallery the Detroit Human Trafficking Task Force, led by the amazing Detroit City Councilwoman, Angela Callaway.
Will the special guest of Representative McKinney please rise and welcome to the Michigan House of Representatives. For the purpose of an introduction, the Speaker recognizes Representative Rennigan.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I am honored to be joined today by 4 students from my alma mater, the University of Michigan School of Public Health. They are studying health policy in the Department of Health Policy and Management, and they are in the East Gallery.
Will the special guest of Representative Rennigan please rise and welcome to the Michigan House of Representatives. For the purpose of a special introduction, the Speaker recognizes Representative Kelly.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Today, colleagues, guests of mine, Nicole Lee, and also a constituent of Representative Bierlein, Alice Verbeek, are here with me today.
Will the special guest of Representative Kelly please rise and welcome to the Michigan House of Representatives. For the purpose of a special introduction, the Speaker recognizes Representative Mueller.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Today I have a very special guest with me. It is my daughter who just turned 16 on Tuesday.
Will the special guest of Representative Mueller please rise and welcome to the Michigan House of Representatives. Happy birthday. For the purpose of the special introduction, Speaker recognizes Representative Hope.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It's my pleasure today to welcome guests from Dart Bank in Mason. And they are here in honor of their 100th anniversary. They are headquartered in Mason, Michigan, and have other branches throughout Ingham County. They are in the East Gallery.
Will the special guest of Representative Hope please rise and welcome to the Michigan House of Representatives. For the purposes of an introduction, the Speaker recognizes Representative Johnson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I have with us in the Southwest Gallery students from the alma mater of District 79's state rep, you can see waving, Central Elementary School in Hastings, 17 students and 9 adults. Thank you for joining us today.
Will the special guest of Representative Johnson please rise? Welcome to the Michigan House of Representatives. For the purpose of an introduction, the speaker recognizes Representative Pies.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise today to offer a tribute for my intern, my office intern, Ruby Hernandez Torres. I'd like to let you know that I have a really deep appreciation for her dedication, her passion, and her hard work that she's put forth in my office for the past 8 months. She's been a great asset to the office. During her legislative internship, she's also been studying full-time at Michigan State University with a major in social relations and policy and minor in Chicano Latino studies and business. Additionally, Ruby is also a member of the Lambda Theta Alpha Latin sorority. She serves as a program coordinator and secretary of the MSU Latino Leaders in Policy, and she is a co-founder and vice president of the student organization Kalamazoo Promise Scholars at MSU. She has a really great personal sense of duty and dedication, and I believe that she really meets the challenges of public service head on. Her eagerness, enthusiasm, and strong work ethic cannot be understated. During her time with my office, she's also led drafting policy memos, constituent correspondence, and routine legislative office operations. She's got a great commitment for professional growth and inspiring, and she will go on to great accomplishments, I'm sure. Please join me in welcoming Ruby Hernandez Torres.
Colleagues, please join me in thanking Representative Pies, intern, for her service to the Michigan House of Representatives. For the purpose of introduction, the speaker recognizes Representative Song.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Today I have some very special guests on the floor with me. It's Bring Your Kid to Work Day, so I have 2 out of 4 with me, Annabelle and Princeton.
Will the special guest of Representative Song please rise? Welcome to the Michigan House of Representatives. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Meerman.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move the House proceed to the order of motions and resolutions and take up Resolution 70, House Resolution 70.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
House Resolution number 70, introduced by Representative Wolford, a resolution to declare April 2025 as Gold Star Spouses Month in the state of Michigan.
The question for the House is on the adoption of House Resolution 75. Speaker recognizes Representative Wolford.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise today in support of my resolution commemorating Gold Star spouses, and joined in the chamber today are 5 other exemplary veterans. It's a great opportunity to speak to this resolution joined by them because they all know fellow members of our armed forces who've died in the line of duty. While those gave the last full measure of devotion in defense of our nation, are rightfully widely recognized throughout the year with many commemorative dates, ceremonies, and memorials. But we often neglect to properly recognize the lasting pain that remains long after the deaths. The surviving spouses of men and women who lost their lives while in uniform carry an unspeakable hurt that merits more attention than we often give it. These wives and husbands willingly committed to loving and supporting individuals in incredibly challenging roles that would demand their comfort, their safety, and in most tragic cases, their lives. Yet despite knowing the cost, these Gold Star spouses made lifelong commitments to their loved ones anyway. Their notability, their courage, their patriotism, their love in the face of potential tragedy should inspire us just as we are inspired by the spouses' sacrifices. Beyond also being a veteran, I'm the father of a veteran and particularly relevant to this legislation, the spouse of a veteran. I'm proud to have a family that is intimately familiar with not only the value and the price of service, but what it's like to love, live with, and be committed to someone else who also knows the value and the price of service. I urge my colleagues to join me in honoring those still living among us who know better than anyone the value and price of making the ultimate sacrifice in defense of our nation, I urge my colleagues to join with me in voting in favor of this resolution.
The question before the House is on the adoption of House Resolution 7-0. All those in favor of the resolution will say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. The resolution is adopted. Speaker recognizes Representative Wolford.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Fellow members, I thank you for passing this resolution commemorating Gold Star spouses. Today, I'm joined by 5 incredible guests. In the East Gallery, I have Ramon Baca commemorating his past 25 years of service as an airborne ranger, sergeant major, and currently serving as a director of Livingston County Veteran Services. Additionally, Justin Prosser, a Marine Corps veteran, Bobby Bright, this year's Livingston County Veteran of the Year, and on the House floor with me, Taryn Fry, this year's American Legion Post 141, Operation Iraqi Freedom Veteran of the Year and Marine. And lastly, Josh Parrish and his wife Courtney, who just this week were recognized for winning the Veteran-Owned Small Business of the Year Award and also a finalist for the Congressional Medal of Honor Society 2025 Citizen Honors Award for community service for the work that they do for our veteran community. To all, this is a great opportunity to witness the passing of this resolution and to be joined by these exemplary veterans because they all know fellow members of our armed forces who died in the line of duty.
Will the special guest of Representative Wolford please rise and thank you for your service to our nation. Welcome to the Michigan House of Representatives. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Meerman.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that, continuing on the order of motions and resolutions, and move that the House take up House Resolution 71.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
House Resolution number 7-1, introduced by Representative Weiss. The resolution to declare April 28, 2025 as Workers' Memorial Day in the state of Michigan.
Speaker recognizes Representative Menser.
Thank you, colleagues. Representative Weiss couldn't be here, so I'm going to read this in her honor. I rise today to recognize April 28th as Workers' Memorial Day, a day where we remember and honor the lives of workers who have been injured, disabled, or killed on the job. This day also marks the anniversary of the Occupational Safety and Health Act, taking effect in 1971, ensuring a promise to every worker that they have the right to a safe workplace. But that promise remains unfulfilled for too many. Between 2022 and 2024, 112 Michigan workers lost their lives on the job, each one a tragedy that could have been prevented. Nationally, we've seen over 16,000 workplace deaths in just 3 years. These deaths include transportation accidents, heart attacks, factory deaths, and occupational illnesses, and they show how much work we still have to do. These aren't just statistics. These are real people who left for work expecting to return home but never did. We owe it to them to do better. Michigan's workforce is the backbone of our state's economy. These workers build our infrastructure, care for our communities, and run our state. They deserve safe, dignified, and protected workplaces through strong enforcement of safety regulations. We must also support whistleblowers, those who bravely speak out about unsafe conditions and ensure that they are protected from retaliation. Today is a day to mourn those we've lost and to renew our commitment to prevention, justice, and action. We must strengthen workplace safety standards, improve enforcement, and guarantee just compensation for those harmed. Every worker in Michigan deserves to come home safe. That's not just policy, it's our responsibility. Let's stand together in remembrance and in determination to protect Michigan's workers and their families. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The question before the House is the adoption of House Resolution 7-1. All those in favor will say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. The resolution is adopted. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Meerman.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Continuing on the order of motions and resolutions, I move that the House take up House Resolution 72.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
House Resolution number 72, introduced by Representative Tisdale, a resolution to declare April 2025 as Financial Literacy Month in the state of Michigan.
The question before the House is on the adoption of House Resolution 7-2. All those in favor of the resolution will say aye. Those opposed, nay. The resolution is adopted. For the purpose of introduction, the Speaker recognizes Representative Regas.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It's an honor once again to host another school group. I have 26 students and 8 adults from Caledonia, again, from Dutton Christian School. They're in the East Gallery.
Will the special guest of Representative Regas please rise and welcome to the Michigan House of Representatives. For the purposes of an introduction, the Speaker recognizes Representative Bruck.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. In the West Gallery, I have some guests here today from Bedford Public School, and there's 9 students as well as a handful of teachers with them as well.
Will the special guest of Representative Bruck please rise and welcome to the Michigan House of Representatives. Speaker recognizes Representative Meerman.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move the House continue on the order of motions and resolutions. I move the House take up House Resolution 73.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
House Resolution number 73, introduced by Representative Meerman, a resolution to declare April 2025 as Limb Loss and Limb Difference Awareness Month in the state of Michigan.
Speaker recognizes Representative Meerman.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I appreciate this opportunity to help us remember all of those who know people who have lost limbs.
Members, please give Representative your attention. Speaker recognizes Representative Meerman.
Thank you. There are 5.6 million Americans living with limb loss in the United States. Every year there's 500,000 new cases. Approximately 35,000 children are born each year in the United States with congenital limb difference, and 600 children lose a limb to a lawnmower accident every summer. I appreciate this, Madam Speaker, this opportunity that we can all remember these people that are living without limbs.
The question before the House is on the adoption of House Resolution 7-3. All those in favor of the resolution will say aye. Those opposed, nay. The resolution is adopted. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Meerman.
Just to let the members know, there will be no further voting today, and that when the House adjourns today, the House will stand adjourned until Tuesday, April 29, 2025 at 1:30 p.m.
The House will stand at ease. For the purposes of introduction, the Speaker recognizes Representative Rogers.
Democratic colleagues, we will have a Democratic caucus in the Democratic caucus room.
The House will stand at ease at the call of the chair.
House come to order and proceed to announcements by the clerk of printing and enrollment.
The clerk announced the following bills will be reproduced and made available electronically on Wednesday, April 23rd. House Bills 4380 through 4385, Senate Bills 244 through 261. Clerk announced the following Senate bills received on Thursday, April 24th. Senate Bills 3 through 5, 99, and 100.
Reports of standing committees.
The Committee on Agriculture, Representative Nair, Chair, reported House Bill 4076. Recommendation that the substitute H1 be adopted and the bill then pass.
Bill will be referred to the order of second reading of bills.
The Committee on Government Operations, Representative Gold, Chair, reported House Bill 4244 without amendment with recommendation the bill pass.
Bill will be referred to the order of second reading of bills.
The Committee on Government Operations, Representative Gold, Chair, reported House Bill 4338 without amendment with recommendation the bill pass.
Will be referred to the order of second reading of bills.
The Committee on Government Operations, Representative Begol, Chair, reported House Bill 4339 without amendment, with recommendation the bill pass.
Bill will be referred to the order of second reading of bills.
The Committee on Government Operations, Representative Begol, Chair, reported House Bill 4340 without amendment, with recommendation the bill pass.
Bill will be referred to the order of second reading of bills.
The Committee on Government Operations, Representative Begol, Chair, reported House Bill 4341 without amendment, with recommendation the bill pass.
Bill will be referred to the order of second reading of
The
bills.
Committee on Government Operations, Representative Begol, Chair, reported House Bill 4342 without amendment, with recommendation the bill pass.
Bill will be referred to the order of second reading of bills. Messages from the Senate.
To the Speaker of the House of Representatives, dear sir, I herewith transmit Senate Bill 3, a bill to provide for a cost and affordability review of certain prescription drug products. People of the State of Michigan enact.
Bill will be considered at a first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Government Operations.
I herewith transmit Senate Bill 4, a bill to amend the Insurance Code of 1956. People of the State of Michigan enact.
Bill will be considered at a first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Government Operations.
I herewith transmit Senate Bill 5, a bill to amend the Social Welfare Act. People of the State of Michigan enact.
Bill will be considered at a first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Government Operations.
I herewith transmit Senate Bill 99, a bill to amend the Public Officers Financial Disclosure Act. People of the State of Michigan enact.
Bill will be considered at a first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Government Operations.
I herewith transmit Senate Bill 100, a bill to amend the Candidate for Office Financial Disclosure Act. People of the State of Michigan enact.
Bill will be considered at a first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Government Operations. Notices.
The House Oversight Subcommittee on Public Health and Food Security will meet Tuesday, April 29th at 12 noon, room 326 of the House Office Building. The House Committee on Transportation Infrastructure will meet Tuesday, April 29th at 12 noon, room 519 of the House Office Building. The Appropriations Subcommittee on Agriculture and Rural Development and Natural Resources will meet Wednesday, April 30th at 10:30 a.m., room 352 of the Capitol. The House Committee on Rules will meet Thursday, May 1st at 10:30 a.m., room 519 of the House Office Building.
Introduction of bills.
Representative Farhat offers House Bill 4386, a bill to declare the powers and duties of the Commission on Middle Eastern American Affairs. People of the State of Michigan enact.
Bill will be considered at a first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Government Operations.
Representative Roth offers House Bill 4387, a bill to amend the Income Tax Act of 1967. People of the State of Michigan enact.
Bill will be considered at a first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Finance.
Representative Tisdale offers House Bill 4388, a bill to establish age verification and consent requirements related to the opening and use of social media accounts by residents of this state. People of the State of Michigan enact.
Bill will be considered at a first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Communications and Technology.
Representative Wagala offers House Bill 4389, a bill to amend the Natural Resources and Environmental Protection Act. People of the State of Michigan enact.
Bill will be considered at a first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Natural Resources and Tourism.
Representative Begol offers House Bill 4390, a bill to amend the Michigan Vehicle Code. People of the State of Michigan enact.
Bill will be considered at a first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Government Operations.
Representative Rogers offers House Bill 4381, a bill to amend the Michigan Vehicle Code. People of the State of Michigan enact.
Bill will be considered at a first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Government Operations.
Representative Borton offers House Bill 4392, a bill to make, supplement, and adjust appropriations for certain capital outlay projects, community colleges, and the Department of Natural Resources for the fiscal year ending September 30, 2025. People of the State of Michigan enact.
Bill will be considered at a first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Appropriations.
Representative Miller offers House Bill 4393, a bill to amend the Natural Resources and Environmental Protection Act. People of the State of Michigan enact.
Bill will be considered at a first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Natural Resources and Tourism.
Representative Regas offers House Bill 4394, a bill to amend the State License Fee Act. People of the State of Michigan enact.
Bill will be considered at a first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Regulatory Reform.
Representative Whitwer offers House Bill 4395, a bill to amend the Occupational Code. People of the State of Michigan enact.
Bill will be considered at a first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Regulatory Reform. Announcements by the clerk.
Received from the Auditor General a copy of the performance audit on Cannabis Regulatory Agency, Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs, April 2025. Received from the Auditor General a copy of the report on internal control, compliance, and other matters of the Michigan Strategic Fund, fiscal year ended September 30, 2024.
There being no further business to come before the House, Representative Robinson moves that the House adjourn. Hearing no objection, the House will stand adjourned until Tuesday, April 29, 2025 at 1:30 p.m.